Take a closer look at the state of this battery gold rush. And joining us is Ambarish Ram, the Director of Operations at USD Analytics. Ambarish, thanks for joining us. I certainly appreciate it. I apologize, I'm fighting a cold. Okay, China is the leader driving these investments, but United States and Europe, I wouldn't say they're not too far behind, but they do want to be nipping at their heels. Where does it all stand?
Of around a total battery capacity of 1.4 TWh, China accounts for around 86% currently. But by 2030, it is going to be reduced to around 65%, with Europe and US really coming into the picture. US alone is likely to make around 1 TWh in 2030. So yeah, the industry is quite booming industry, both in China and non-China countries.
Okay, and while we talk about this shift, let's also talk about the risks and the challenges that do come from manufacturing lithium batteries. And sadly, the South Korea factory fire comes to mind. Is that an aberration, or is that something that really needs a lot of attention?
Really needs a lot of attention, because in addition to large players like Tesla, CATL or BYD, a lot of small scale companies and startup companies are venturing into the industry. The investment in Gigafactories is itself likely to increase from 140 billion to around 300 billion. So which of a large portion of this will come from small scale and medium scale companies. And when these companies come into the picture, the importance of safety becomes much higher. For instance, we see the South Korea incident where 22 workers were dead and around 8 people were injured. It was a small scale unit which had only a 5,000 square meters area. They hosted 35,000 batteries in their floor. And because of some faulty connections or other reasons which are yet to be discovered, there was a fire explosion, and the explosion happened in 15 seconds. And this lot of damage happened, which gives us a quick lesson for any companies or the regulatories or countries aggressively planning to expand these capacities. Well, they should really invest a lot in preemptive checks, safety showers, first responder training, sensors, and what else. I mean, that has to be rigorously expected. Unless these things are coming, put into picture, the industry will really suffer such incidents.
Also, in the United States, there has been pushback. EV sales certainly not where the Biden administration wants them, and the U.S. is also looking at the real possibility that Donald Trump could take office early next year, and that could have a real adverse effect on EVs, lithium batteries. Who would benefit in that situation, and what do you think it would do to the worldwide market demand?
Biden actually wanted 50% of the EVs to be produced domestically by 2030, which was, averaging or, estimates of around 29 to 30 factories to be set up by 2030. But as you said, with administration changes or if Trump comes into picture, this might drastically go down. But again, I would say it will not be half or somewhere around, still 20 gigafactories or around 15 gigafactories will come into picture. Because the US cannot fall behind when a lot of other countries, China, South Korea, we see a lot of European countries, Germany, Hungary, and everybody is planning EVs. This industry will grow despite the administration change. Maybe the pace of the industry might vary, but the industry continues to grow. So the rule of safety has to be there anyway.
Yeah, and if you look internationally, China, Europe, other areas, they are embracing this and see the value in lithium batteries. But there is a segment in the United States that pushes back in a very powerful way. Everything from the amount of carbon it takes to create lithium batteries. That's a tough one for people to rationalize. Give us your thoughts on that argument.
Again, there are risks associated with it, from right from extraction to recycling and disposal. The industry has its own challenges. But again, falling back is not the solution. We will have to come up with new solutions where, these all can be handled to a reasonable extent.
Yeah.
Falling back from entire lithium, if we go back, that will be a difficulty. And one more challenge, if the aggressive target of the US has to be achieved, there are a lot of geopolitical issues, because these deposits are not basically in US. They are mostly in DRC, South America, and other places.
Right.
So those also have to be considered.